Good day. So here we go. So now you see the slides. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
Hi, Moon.
Hi, Moon. How you doing? Okay, two updates. Celebration talks next Wednesday and Thursday. My hope is that for those dates that you come with a video prepared, which you can share in the group, and we'll do a little bit of voting. We will do a prize award winning. You'll get a prize for the best presentation, the most improvement, the funniest ending. I don't know what we'll do. We'll come up with a couple different things that make it fun. All the courses. So some people sent me a message today saying, Bryan, the link isn't working. My apologies, but there is a link that works for all the courses, and that's on the Africa Speaker Brew, and that will get you to all the courses. And today's talk, if you really want to get it fast and furious, there is a link that will get you to the slides for today. Any other things as far as updates, Jay?
Nope, all good. I'm just working already on the slides.
All right. So you'll be better than I am. So today, day eight, using AI to get your voice heard. Now, Christoph knows I'm a big fan of AI. So he's going to expect me to come out today and talk about all the glories and wonders of AI. But actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about the fallbacks of using AI and put things in a little bit of perspective. But first, why would you want to use AI? And the answer is pretty simple. AI is a prediction machine. AI follows and says, if I say this, what's the next most likely thing to happen? Which actually works very well if you want to communicate something to human beings. Last year, I did a talk and some research, and we tried the same pitch. We had human beings competing against AI. And what you will find is these are the free versions of AI, that basically every paid model was more convincing than the human beings were, doing exactly the same pitch. But that's on average. One of the things that human beings do is they do have a lot more variation. The second thing that we tested out is we've done some work with venture capital companies, asking them to compare pitches done by AI and pitches done by humans. The investors prefer the AI pitch 80% of the time. Bummer, huh? And they found them 70% more persuasive. So just use AI. No questions asked, just go forward. And in fact, you will make a big mistake if you do that. So AI is absolutely amazing, but only if you use it right. And there's lots of types of AI and lots of things we're talking about. We're just talking about AI in the context of large language models and the ability of writing text. The big thing we get lost on is AI does a lot of stuff really fast. So you have 22 AI generated slides. All the data is right. The formatting is perfect. It looks glorious. You couldn't be happier, but nobody likes your talk. And the reason why that happens is usually most typically we haven't prepared the talk very well. If you want to waste a lot of time, ask AI to write you an email. Ask AI to make you a presentation. And then what you will get is you will get generic fluff. And then what you will do is you'll spend hours rewriting that and you will gain nothing as far as time. If what you do is you're very, very specific about what you want, and I'll show you some ways to be more specific, you will actually get some pretty good stuff that you can improve. But the one thing that I want to convince you about today is you have to stop treating AI as somebody who's going to write your talks, going to make your speeches. You have to start thinking about AI as a partner in the process to help you identify gaps in the way that you're thinking and to clarify your thinking so you get better than you were before. It's not doing the work for you, but it's helping you do the work better. Now, why is that? First is AI writes too much. It, I don't think it can ever write. You say be short, and it writes me 4 paragraphs. Whereas a human being, you might write 3 lines. Second, something we've been talking about a lot is the structure of AI is prediction based. It gives you a context and it gives you a conclusion. That's deductive and not inductive. As we were talking about a couple times already, an inductive format is going to be better, and it's still a lot better as an editor than it is a writer. So the first thing that happens is if you use AI, you're going to get lots of data. And what's going to happen is that ask that you have is somewhere buried in the mix. Instead of it being something crystal clear, it's there, but the reality is your audience doesn't want to spend the time to look for it. And the worst thing I can see you doing is actually reading an AI-based talk because nobody delves into this and nobody uses a lot of the words that AI uses. And you can hear it when people are talking. The second thing that happens is the way that the structure of an AI talk goes, the default background, context, analysis, recommendation. What you want to do, if you want your audience to pay attention to you, you start with the recommendation, you give your evidence, your options, and then you ask. So if we're looking at, we talked about structuring it, the pyramid principle, the answer, the arguments, the evidence. And I'm going to give you a simple rule. It might not be slide 12, but somewhere around slide 12 in your 22-page presentation, you will find the guts of your talk. Take that page and put it as your first page in your talk. When you put that as the first page in your talk, what you'll do is catch your people's attention. And I know when I talk to a few people here about their videos, the thing I said is, you're at about 2 minutes in. Why don't you put that as your first sentence? So how do you use AI to get your voice heard with all these things? There are 4 ways to use AI as a coach. One is by structuring your talk different. Two is by using it as a critical evaluator. Three is by simplifying, and four is by analyzing the way that you're talking. And I'll go through each of these one by one. So the first one is your typical talk has a decision at the end. What you want to do is move the decision to the top. Now, if you upload your talk into AI, it's really easy to ask it to reorder things and restructure your thoughts. Unfortunately, I don't have a really short prompt for you. So if you want, download these slides. But basically, what it's doing is saying, look, what I want you to do is I want to take the conclusion from the bottom and I want to put it at the top. And here's how I want it to be done. Does this make sense, everybody? Teddy.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So it's interesting, Brian. So I tried this out.
Yes. And did it work?
I tried it out. There was resistance. So there's a presentation that I was making, and I just thought, let me switch it up and put the recommendations first. So I think one of the key points which people then said is that you're already trying to influence us before giving us the full story and all the facts. You're already giving us a position even before we've had a chance to go through the different parts of the story. So I think that was where the pushback was. People saying that you're already recommending, but we want to understand the facts, we want to understand the basis, we want to understand the assumptions first before we run to a recommendation.
Okay, I can buy into that. And maybe sometimes you have to do it that way. But I think typically the most effective talks I've seen are saying, hey, Teddy, I think we should do this. And here are the reasons why. One, two, three. Now we got some great time together. I'm going to explain to you all 3 reasons. That's a very different talk than introduction and your conclusion all the way at the bottom. Give it a shot. It'll feel uncomfortable. It'll feel weird, but I guarantee you it'll be something positive. The second way to use AI effectively is to use it as a hole finder in your talk. So, for example, I talk in lots of areas where I don't know something. And what I do is when I don't know something, I try to find people that are experts in that area to give me advice. And if it's typically as it is 11 o'clock the night before I need to take a flight, I don't have access to those experts. So what I do is I make AI those experts. So I'm going to be talking at palliative care. So what I might do is I might say, here's my talk. I'll upload a few books from authors on palliative care and have it give me feedback and find the weak points in my talk. You can also just give it your core argument and find the three weakest counter arguments. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. You'll find it makes your talk much stronger. Now, for those of you in corporate world, who's the hardest person to convince? It's always the CFO. So what I would love you to do is using AI and say, you are a skeptical CFO. What are the strongest counter arguments to my logic? And what you'll find is you'll find the holes, you'll find the ways to rebut it, and go forward. Another thing you can do is if you want to make a great talk, usually a great talk is summarized quickly. It's the thing that they would say to the colleague in the hallway after the talk. Moon made a great talk. She talked about this. And that is usually one sentence long. You can use AI to say, summarize this talk in a sentence a busy CFO can process in 10 seconds. I'm picking on the CFOs today, but I think that's a pretty good group to focus on if you want to get something through. Now, if you look at the layout of these slides, I want to tell you a shortcut that I use. I actually don't make out all the layouts of these. In fact, what I do is I write a long slide, which is Bryan thinking, which is usually pretty complex. And then I say to the AI, make this simple and sweet. So if you want a fabulous prompt, I have a make a presentation prompt. So what I do is I upload the PowerPoint that I've written. And I said, look, what I want you to do is to make it more visually appealing, consistent with a certain set of guidelines for a talk. And for me, the guidelines of the talk are photo fonts, icon images, so on and so forth. You can make it whatever you want. You like blue, I like red. Okay. And what it does, it takes an input presentation, reformats it in something cool in about 5 minutes. Last way to use AI, and this I learned during this course. I didn't know it was even possible. If you use Gemini, you can actually upload a voice, a talk. It will analyze how you're talking. It will check out where you're looking to. It'll check out the timbre of your voice. It will see if you're nervous or not, and it can evaluate how you're talking. How many of you tried the GPT that was here? Ranislav, did it give you a fair reply or no?
Um, I think it did, right? But it's very externally oriented, right? So at the end of the day, the point of the talk is to impact the audience.
Mhm.
And I think it's limited in how much of that, right, it can bring.
Yeah.
But for the regulation, let's say, of your biology, it's really useful because it's objective.
Yeah.
And like how you build it, I think you build on like the top of like neurology, right, and biology, and you fed it the right information, and so the criteria it was evaluating on were very sound in this regard.
Okay. So what I decided to do today, instead of doing a group exercise, what I wanted to do is a group exercise as a group. So I've talked a little bit about AI. It actually is something that I'm a bit of an expert, not because I'm a real expert, but I'm one step ahead of everybody else. So it's, 3 years ago, I knew nothing about it. I had actually just launched a book And in my book, AI wasn't listed anywhere. And I said, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to go learn to use AI." And then I wrote a new book about how to use AI. What are your experiences with AI? What would you like to know?
So typically, I've used it for the more mundane type tasks. So replying to emails, drafting up an email when I feel like English is escaping me and my bundles are all done. Only recently, I've actually started using Claude to help me a little bit more in terms of designing PowerPoint templates. And then I really pushed it when I asked it to do an analysis and give me output of an Excel file that had close to 2,000 rows, but it kind of crashed.
Okay. So you have initial success and then you pushed it too
Yeah,
far.
yeah, I jumped too far.
Yeah. How about other people? Questions, comments?
I use I use it all the time. I use it, obviously for work. I use it to do deep research when I talk to customers. And also, what one part I really appreciate about it for all of us is the ability to learn using like Notebook LM or uploading a ton of documents and having analysis, podcast, and all kind of thing with no hallucination and being able to query thousands of pages of document in a way that we never could before and get the information we're looking for.
Christoph, like you, my new favorite AI tool is Notebook LM.
It's ridiculously good.
I'm a bit of a data geek, and I like to believe when I talk about things, I talk about things that are true. So what I do is I will upload academic articles, which are actually fact-based rather than the stuff that you see on LinkedIn or Medium or something like that. Really cool. Roland, you're up.
Hey, I use it really to structure strategy. So it's giving information on what I want to do. I spend really good time on prompting it what I want from it. I use it with an agent, and then I'm giving me an outline of strategy, and then I tweak it where it got left and right. And what's fascinating is really the structure it gives in an order. So it helps me really to order myself, and that's amazing what it can do if you know the topic and if you can control the output and then tweak it to the right thing.
But I think within that, Roland, one of the things you need to do is have a certain degree of expertise because AI can lead you really fast down the wrong path.
Exactly.
So I think you need to keep your your brain open and your mind on. Otherwise, you'll be launching a strategic plan that goes nowhere. Christopher, you're up.
Thank you very much. Wow. So similar to you, I had written this book, Successful Digital Transformation, and then ChatGPT was released onto the world. And now I'm trying to figure out, similar to you, I need to go rewrite it, right? And how I'm using AI right now. So I've been involved with some government work. The Office of the Prime Minister has appointed me as chairman of the National AI Task Force. This is my third year. And so what I'm trying to use AI for, how to use AI for national development. I personally use maybe ten different AI tools. Everyone mentioned here, I've used every one of them. I've been in technology for 40 years. So I'm now struggling to, with a team, I have 20 people assisting me of all different expertise. How do we leverage this for national development and for all the various areas to consider safety and ethical use? And yes, I'm writing policy with it.
So, you know what we should do, Christopher? We should talk. I'm doing a program in Mexico right now around how to develop education in schools better with AI. We should chat. Branislav, you're
We
up.
we should. We should.
Yeah. So I was talking to my friend about AI, right? He works at Google, at DeepMind, actually. So it's a very interesting case, and we have been exchanging ideas for a long time. And he is using AI for more like theoretical science research. And I've been using AI mostly for philosophical topics, even psychology, and even like I was bringing poetry in a way. Yeah. Uh, So I'm coming from like the art side, he's coming from the science side on the thing. And we were just discussing how the dynamic between you and the tool and in a way where it pushes you, this whole process that you initiate by engaging with it, yeah, being framed by what kind of topics you make it deal with, and like you deal with these topics synchronously, right, with the tool. Yeah, so do you have maybe some ideas on how can generalize some dynamics, right? Depending on what kind of matters you feed into it.
So I'm a bit of a data geek, and what came out before AI was what it is today. Actually, we looked all at AI as be able to predict things. It was to do better data analysis. And actually, it hasn't succeeded very well there. Where AI is really making an impact is in terms of creativity. And it's very interesting how expectations and reality have turned out to be really different. Teddy, you're up.
I think for me, AI has been amazing. It's really supercharged my efficiency. So, I actually get much more done now than I did in the past. And there's certain tasks which I used to take maybe a day or two to do, which now have basically just become more efficient. So I'm loving all the various tools. Some people say I am extreme, but it's actually helped me a lot and it's supercharged my efficiency. I get more out of the day done now than I did in the past.
Okay. So then what I'd like to close with something is important about the use of AI. And that is AI is making everyone better. But if you want to be exceptional, you still have to add that human element. It's not enough to let AI think for you. And what I have here are rough numbers when we're looking at the evaluation of presentations prepared by AI with AI, and AI with humans. If we looked at an AI version, the version 1, it gets to about the 70th percentile, meaning it's pretty damn good. If we use AI some more and we use AI to review itself, we get up to the 90th percentile. But frankly, do you want to be in the 90th percentile? Or do you want to be in the 99th percentile? If you want to get to the 99th percentile, it's the human work that's going to pull the stuff together. It's the ability to go one step further beyond what the AI is pumping out to actually simplify, clarify, and make it great. For me, AI, well, it's probably not dead. Lots of people are using AI as a ghostwriter. But I think the real trick is to use it as a sparring partner. And I have a homework for you today, which is actually really easy. This is so much easier than everything you've got so far. And you don't have to turn in anything, you don't have to give to anybody. What I'd like you to do is take this talk that you've been working on, go over to the TED Talk Maker, and I want you to run a secret prompt. And the prompt says, stress test my talk. Ask me questions to clarify and improve the content and make a final talk proposal. Output is an updated outline plus an improved introduction. It's going to frustrate you. It's going to sometimes say, wow, that's really cool. But in the whole process, what you'll get to is you'll get to a much clearer idea. I also have something here which is really, really cool. One of the things I do in life is I run big accelerator programs. So I will do a program that has 500 startups together and they all have to present on Friday. Do you know what the worst thing in the world is? Is to listen to 500 startup pitches that are crappy. So what I've done is I created a pitch review system, which I require people to do it before they come on stage. So what it is you take a short pitch, you dump it in, and it will give you lots of feedback on the pitch and how you can make it. Now, the difference that comes up is in this case, they're typically asking for money or to do something. So for your talk, yeah, it may be good, it may not be good. No promises to you. But it's worth giving it a shot and seeing the feedback that you get. And that was it for today. So if you want to learn more, there's and I should have a Notebook LM podcast on how to use AI. I'm going to recommend again that you watch a talk that I made. It's about how to build a perfect pitch with AI in an hour. And if you want, there's the Notebook LM, which gives you more stuff and cool things. So, questions, comments, fears, hopes, joys, everything.
Comment.
Quite excited. Oh,
Go ahead.
No.
Somebody was saying something.
I will say
Christopher, you
something.
can go.
No, I was just saying, Bryan, thank you. You take these complex topics and you simplify them in such a way that they are approachable, and you continue to do that. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Can I count on you guys to do a stress test of your talk?
Mm-hmm.
It's 15 minutes, something like that. I think you'll get a lot out of it. You don't have to share anything. You may even hide it and not tell anybody. But you'll find that through that process of answering questions, you'll get more clear about your individual idea. And the one thing that's good about this is it's actually going to force you back to one clear and simple message. And that is for our graduation. If you have one clear, simple message, you will be the grand winner, standing on the podium with the envy of all your peers. So that is it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow, we're going to be bringing a lot of this stuff together, and I think we're going to end with glory. We'll see you all guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan.
Thanks.
Thank
We
Bye.
have a
you.
little bit of
Bye.
extra time for question past the 30 minutes,
Yeah,
or
sure. Come on. If you want to stick around for
I go
questions.
back for my question from last week. Could we extra time? We typed on this topic yesterday with Jay and the team, and I wanted to ask you, because you have done a couple of TEL talks, so that's definitely a good practice for us. You delivered. I don't think you had a prompt for the tech talk, did you?
There is a prompter.
You had a prompter.
Yep, all the TED Talks have a prompter in front, but if you look at the prompter, you look pretty bad.
So what was your practice to recall, to remember? I imagine that you have some key points that you keep in mind, so in case you get off track. But what was your way to memorize an 18 minutes talk, and outside of practice?
So Jay's going to talk about this tomorrow, but the trick is not to memorize the talk. Okay? So you go through your talk, but get the key points down. And then be prepared to change, to adapt it a little bit. Have fun. You're up on stage, you got a big group of people there. It's a good time. But if you want to remember your points, Christoph, an easy way to do that is to use visual cues or single word cues. So if you notice the way that my presentations go, I typically have one big word, or I have a visual or something like that. And what that does for me is says, that's the story there. And then you go forward. Jay might talk to you about a speaker. Tell him the story you had earlier about the speaker who couldn't speak with his slides.
I think
Yeah,
I
we
mentioned
talked.
it yesterday in the talk already. Yes, yeah. So this was a highly professional, five-figure in pound lady who, yeah, the presentation started, the slides were not working, the laptop wasn't working, and she couldn't deliver the speech. She didn't go on stage. She was unable to talk because she was so focused on the slides, and when the slides were there, she can probably deliver. Very well known name in the speaking field. I of course don't say who it is, but it's probably many out there. And I'll go tomorrow much deeper into this. If you look into, for example, there are different kinds of speakers. Like probably most of you know Wayne Dyer. and Eckhart Tolle. There was a beautiful interview where they both came to a podcast or an interview. Actually, it was a recorded session, and you can buy this. The difference between Wayne Dyer is he memorized the talk. When you go there tomorrow, it's exactly the same. When you go there the next day, it's exactly the same. Like an actor on stage. He knows the script and he repeats it. Eckhart Tolle, never. He will never repeat even 5 minutes later. He can't repeat what he said. If somebody asks him, can you repeat? He said, no, I can't. I can give it to you in a different way. And many speakers have memorized it. Not Frank Zander, what's his name? Benjamin Zander. I had a few presentations from him here in Cape Town, where we invited him. Great talk, wonderful talk. But exactly, you go there next day and said, can't be. It's exactly the same. It's really memorized, 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 and you only can hear it once.
So what I believe is there's two different types of talks. If you're doing a keynote, actually maybe it makes sense to memorize the talk. Maybe it makes sense to practice it so much that you can't miss a beat. But if what you're doing is you're talking within your company, the worst thing of any talk is somebody who's trying to remember all the words and doesn't pay any attention to the audience. That is
We talk about this tomorrow as well, yeah.
You have to be present. So you have this balance between remembering what you have and being present. And I think the challenge is to be present and to be interacting with your audience, because if you want people to listen to you, you have to show that you're listening to them. Does that make sense? Christoph, I'm seeing he doesn't believe this.
No, the makes total. No, I fully agree. I fully agree. I was thinking about the point you were discussing with Teddy earlier about, putting the proof, what at first to reverse the order. And I was thinking, because I listen to Tony speak on a regular basis, because I see other guys, Joseph McClendon, a bunch of speakers in these seminars, you are correct. And I don't know, maybe it's more of an American thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Where they deliver, say, okay, in the next 30 minutes, we're going to cover that. By the time we're done, you will know to do A, B, C. Is that clear for you? Are you excited? Okay, here what I need from you. I need you to focus, take a pen and paper and play full out for the next 30 minutes. Are you ready? And then they go into delivering all the key points.
That is very American.
Yeah.
You just have to do it like this and get the American accent while you're doing it.
But I actually like this. Some of the really teachers that I like and listening to in the I, for example, Dominic, what's his name? I can't remember, Mr. Grateful. He delivers exactly like this. And I actually like the structure so that you understand from the beginning, you take slide 12 to the top. You know exactly what you're talking about.
But there is a point to which you can't do it. If your talk is a joke, you can't give the punchline before you give the joke. So you have to be careful how you do this.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one point for me. You still have to be you, right? So if you a certain kind, then you have to integrate this kind, or you bring it this kind way. You cannot mimic somebody else just because it looks great. It will not look great on you. You have to find your human touch to the AI script or whatever you do, but you do it the way, at least a bit with your own human style. And then it will be convincing because it comes from the heart and people will feel this. I'm absolutely convinced of this.
Yeah, no,
It's a
I think.
great closure. I will continue on this tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, everybody. May the force
Thank
be
you,
with you,
Roland.
and may the AI be kind to you, and may your comments and your talks get better and better. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Teddy.
Bye.
Bryan, I have a question. Can I get 5 minutes of your time at some point regarding the AI for innovation tool?
Yeah. Ask me now if you want.
Okay, cool. It's basically, I love the tool. I have used it for things. I have an upcoming support for another startup, and they have different topics, and I would really like to use this tool in a context I'm not familiar with to see where are the barriers and how it can be used in a good way for something. But I need your permission to use it for other than what we have started with. What I can offer to give, as I've done before, a feedback on where it works, where I struggled, so that you might be able to improve it
Yeah.
further or at least get a feedback.
So you've got my permission to use it. I would also like to give you some advice on how to use it well. The basically the answer of an AI is as good as the question you ask. So if you spend a lot of time defining the right question, the output will be very good. If you spend very little time defining the question, the output will be yeah. I have a tool which I'll send to you, Roland, which is called a True North Maker. So if you say, look, what is the objective that you want? And essentially, True North is about having a story, an objective, restrictions, tactical constraints, and things like that. It defines your innovation space. And I think you'd find it really good as a start. When are you going to do it, Roland? Is it coming up soon or is it?
It was supposed next week, but now it's postponed, so I have time. So it's not yet clear, but that's one I really
Is
would
it a
like.
bunch of startups or is it one startup?
In this case, it's one startup I want to start with. There might be others coming. So I'm in the interim phase, so I get a lot of requests for support from startups to help them with going from the development to commercialization. That's basically what I do and what I'm passionate about.
Hmm?
And a lot comes down to this, even from big companies, small companies, to find the true value of their technology in certain area. Yeah, so they all make it very broad for the investment pitch, but they are not able to narrow it down to what you say the true north for a certain function in a certain area where they can really transfer the customer value. And I learned this from exploring more than 500 technologies at Thermo Fisher to look into this and help to find the true value
Okay.
for a
So let
certain
me
area. Yeah.
so let me do this, Roland.
Your tools are better on this one than I am, or your tools are very helpful in this
No.
process.
So what I'll do is I'll follow up. I'll send you over a link.
Hmm.
Give it a try in the next couple days, and then I'll give you more feedback on it.
Is this different from I mean, you have the AI for innovation tool set, and there's the True North in there as well.
There is one there. In fact, if you go, it's I think the fourth one down, it goes to a
Mm.
GPT. If you go to
Hmm.
that GPT, that's the one I'm going to send you the link to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
But
basically, it'll
it's
just ask you questions.
yeah. No, it makes absolutely sense, and it's extremely helpful. I really like this. So that's questions how to make this available broadly and then making people pay for it.
Okay, perfect. See you
Okay.
soon, Roland. Cheers.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. It's wonderful.
Okay.
So helpful.
Can I have like 1 minute of your time?
So are you asking for mine or
Well,
Jay's?
both of yours.
Okay. Jay,
1 minute. I have to run.
I know. You're both very busy. I respect both your time. I haven't stuttered in a long time, and I
Oh,
think it's
wow.
partially because decades of therapy, and also I dated a speech language pathologist recently. I think that helped. But then also this class specifically had me rethinking how I construct language in my brain, and I used some of what you guys were talking about, and then IFS therapy, and then this visualization techniques that I learned in internal family systems therapy, and I haven't stuttered in a long time. Sometimes I will, like a little bit, but it's like barely ever. I can't believe it. I am not exhausted anymore because I don't have to do all those tricks. Now it's just me running in real time. Thank you for that. I just wanted to thank you. Thank you
all
for
right.
that.
Perfect,
Thank
Joseph.
you.
Thank you very much. And we'll
We're
see
all about
you.
making impact.
Yeah. See you
Keep
tomorrow,
doing what
Joseph.
you're doing. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Bye. Bye. Okay. So, yeah, I have lots to do still in the other talk. Something that you want to share still, or?
Okay, so you sent me a note here saying,
Oh, already done. I found this on the, of course, it's on the link, so it's done already.
okay,
It's updated already. Good,
okay.
good.
Um,
Okay.
so I'm going to send you some. So did you see, if you open the document I sent you,
Yeah, I have opened it, but I haven't really looked at it yet.
take a look at it. I'll send you a presentation based on that.
Okay, good,
All right.
good.
See you tomorrow.
Okay,
Cheers. Bye-bye.
perfect. Thank you. Bye. File.